There's some good and bad news coming out regarding the next Mission Impossible movie, which is the eighth one in the franchise. And just starting off with the bad news, it's actually going to be delayed about a year. It was initially set to come out next June, June 28th of 24, but it's going to be delayed until May 23rd of 25. And this has to do with the SAG strike going on right now because they can't actually film it. And if the movie's supposed to come out in around 8 months from now, I mean, they won't be able to have enough time to do that. And even if they were to actually end the strikes right this second and immediately get back into production on this movie. So yeah, I mean, it is going to be delayed about another year, which is going to hurt it because it's going to make it more like the past movie just kind of be more of a distant memory. So it's a matter of whether people are going to be still excited and kind of riding that hype of the previous movie, wanting to go see it, or at least riding the little hype because the previous one did actually fail at the box office quite substantially. But I'll get more on that. But some of the good news about the fact that they're delaying it is just has to do with they're going to be getting more IMAX exclusive screenings, or at least having 3 weeks of exclusive screenings for IMAX. Because for people who remember, the previous movie, Mission Impossible 7, only had about a week and change of IMAX screens before Oppenheimer came in and took over. And that was also another issue that hurt the movie, was just the fact that it was released about a week before two of the biggest movies of the year, which was Barbie and Oppenheimer. And those definitely took the wind out of its sails and I think really hurt it. I mean, Mission Impossible 7 was one of those movies, there's not really like a glaring issue with why it didn't succeed. I mean, you look at Box Office Mojo, I mean, it had a $291 million budget, which I think was grossly overinflated, but to the film's credit, a lot of that had to do with the fact that they were filming it during COVID. So that really shot up the budget with all the precautions that they had to take for that. But anyway, I mean, just looking at what it was able to make, $567 million. I mean, I think there was about a $70 million tax credit that they got through various things. So you can add that to here, and let's say it was around, I don't know, let's just say $630 million that you add to this sort of thing. I know that's not quite the math or whatever. I'm just kind of being a little generous with it. Let's just say 650. Just be generous to Mission Impossible here. If that's what they were able to get globally, if you were to add the tax credit to it, okay, well, this movie still needed to make around maybe $800 million in order to be considered a success. And the previously best movie in the Mission Impossible franchise was the Mission Impossible Fallout, which was the sixth movie. And that made around $850 million globally at the box office. And to me, that's not really a good situation to be in, where you almost have to set out to make your franchise best record for your movie in order to be considered just a success and not a failure. I mean, I think they should, I'm not saying to set the bar low or whatever, but don't necessarily set it that high. And a lot of that, I believe, had to do with just hubris on the part of the filmmakers, because they're coming off of Top Gun Maverick, especially with Tom Cruise, and that made over $1 billion globally. And I think they were expecting similar results for this movie. I mean, I know I personally was expecting it. I believe I've actually even said that on this channel, that I thought it was going to make over $1 billion, especially after early reviews were coming in and people loved this movie. And even though this movie failed at the box office, people really liked it. I mean, I saw it and I gave it a positive review, and I was really surprised that it just didn't hold on there. And that just the fact, I mean, a bunch of issues with it. I mean, and people have kind of been doing almost a post-mortem on it. It's like, what could they have done to fix it? I mean, this whole article on The Guardian is trying to talk about that. Like, what could they have done to make it better? And the thing about it is, there's just no one glaring issue where it's like, if you fix this, it'll make it a success. I mean, the most glaring one is already, I talked about the budget of it. It was just too high of a budget. I mean, you could have made a great movie on around maybe $220 million, and it probably could have broken even at that stage. I mean, with what we saw, I mean, it wasn't great, but I mean, at least it would have been a little bit better. So there's that possibility right there. And some of the other things, we've already heard that they're changing the title. I mean, I don't know if a title is necessarily going to make or break a movie. I mean, sometimes a title can have a pretty big impact. I mean, it's just simple marketing right there. But I mean, Mission Impossible 7, Dead Reckoning Part 1. I mean, that's a little bit of a weird title. I know for the next one, they said they're taking out the Dead Reckoning Part 2. They haven't announced what it's going to be. But one of the more interesting things I saw in this article from The Guardian, that's why I got this pulled up, at this moment right here, as much as that video of Tom Cruise jumping off the motorbike on a mountain cheered us all up in the depths of COVID, there might also be a lesson to learn here. Why on earth would any film choose the lead with repeated shots of the film's biggest stunt being executed? By the time the actual film came out, everyone assumed that you'd already seen the best bit for free on YouTube. Next time, Mission Impossible should try saving some excitement for the actual film. And I agree with that too, because I understand with trailers and marketing, you're trying to get people excited to go see it. But I think when they actually show them jumping off the mountain, I mean, just imagine if you just see the lead up where the bike's coming to the edge of the cliff and then that's where it cuts away. So you don't actually see the jump portion of it. Because I don't know about a lot of you watching this, but when I actually saw this in theater, it just really, I mean, not only did it not have much of the excitement that it was probably intending because I already seen this online, but I already saw the trailer in a theater for some other movie I was watching previously. So this was one of those things, like when I saw it in the theater in the actual movie, it was like, well, yeah, I've already seen this on the big screen. So it really didn't have the impact. And I agree with this. I mean, and like I said, is a better trailer going to help a movie? Well, obviously, because studios spend a lot of money making trailers. I mean, there's an art form in just making trailers in and of themselves. I mean, I've seen movies succeed or failure because the trailer didn't really do it justice like that. So, I mean, has that had bad trailers also have there been bad trailers for movies that did well? Of course, it's not the only thing in there. But like I said, with this movie, I mean, there's just a lot of little stuff that was kind of plaguing it that, I mean, I think added up to it failing. And you just do some of these slight tweaks or whatever and just kind of like massage things a little bit. I think the next one will be successful. And I'm pretty sure they're taking lessons to learn from that. I mean, first of all, I mean, they're releasing it at an earlier time, kind of the start of the movie season versus kind of like right in the middle of it, competing with other stuff. That's a smart move. Getting more IMAX screenings, that's a smart move. Changing the title, I think that's going to help it. But we can't know what's going to happen with the next movie until we start getting more information, or even then, like not until it comes out. Because yeah, Mission Impossible 7, I thought that was going to be a success up until the point like that I saw the second week drop, and it's like, oh yeah, this movie's actually not going to do too good after all. But I don't know. Well, let me know what you think about all this in the comment section. I mean, do you think the next one will actually be better? I mean, I think it'll probably perform better than Mission Impossible 7. Will it be the franchise best? Who knows? There's going to be a lot of factors, but I think it can actually pull it off. But let me know what you think. And if you like this video, make sure you click that like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with the latest news. Thank you.